Okay, last time we went over the window of tolerance scale and discovered that there's a low zone and a high zone, and there is the window of tolerance. In the window of tolerance is when we have the most energy, we're really able to make decisions and feel very balanced in our energy and have a lot of capacity. That's where we want to be most of the time. We do shift though into the high zone and into the low zone under stress. We want to begin to identify not just where we are in the present moment, but also to track where we are over the course of a few days or a week or even a month or several months. And in order to do that, what I would recommend is that you start in a journal making note of where you are on the window of tolerance scale. When you wake up in the morning, make note of whatever number you find yourself in. And then in the mid-morning, another note, where am I on the window of tolerance scale? In the afternoon, a note, where am I on the scale? In the evening, and then before bed. So wake up, mid-morning, afternoon, evening, and before bed. Make note of where you are on the scale. Maybe in that time before bed, when you take note of where you are on the window of tolerance, you could also make note of, over the course of the day, how often would you say you were in the window of tolerance? Would you say that you never got there? Would you say that you were occasionally in the window of tolerance? Would you say sometimes? Would you say frequently? Or would you say always you were in the window of tolerance? And do that each night whenever you do that last check-in. Take note of how often, how long you were in the window of tolerance during that day, so that you have a weekly tracker as well. So a daily tracker, wake up, mid-morning, afternoon, evening, before bed, one day, and then over the course of the week, how often you were in that window of tolerance and stayed there. Again, that was never, occasionally, sometimes, frequently, or always. The reason why this is beneficial is because when we're not in our window of tolerance, we are not able to make good decisions. We're not able to think clearly. We're not able to integrate information well. Our emotions are out of whack. And stress, which we all tend to be under right now at different levels, has the potential of pushing us out of our window of tolerance. It's important though, in order to do anything about that, in order to recognize, oh, I need to shift back into the window of tolerance scale in order to handle these daily things the way that I want to, we have to know that we're outside of that window. And so tracking is for the purpose of beginning to notice, oh, I'm outside of the window. I'm not at my best. And then we become more interested in learning skills, applying tools that will help us move back into the window. In the next clip, I will go over with you some of the ways, first of all, of identifying what it feels like when I start getting outside of my window of tolerance on the hyperaroused side, that fight and flight zone, and what it feels like when I start getting into that low zone where I'm beginning to freeze. Recognizing what's happening in my body, what's happening in my thoughts, how my feelings are contributing to that, and then taking action with some different things in order to discover how I might move back into the window of tolerance when I'm bumping up against those zones that are not helpful for my everyday functioning.